Hello, my name is Tomo Nomura. Believing in the universal power of music to generate hope and to heal, I wanted to extend assistance to people who face hardship and critical threats such as poverty, hunger, disease, armed conflict, natural disasters, and so on. Therefore, I established the Human Security Association last year as a non-profit organization to raise awareness of human security issues and funds for human security initiatives. Human security advocates for freedom from fear, freedom from wants, freedom to live in dignity, and focuses on human-centered approach in challenging various sorts of threats. It also emphasized the importance of mental support. I agree with the core values of human security, and I wanted to help promote this policy framework through supporting the United Nations Human Security Initiatives. Human Security Association will conduct music-related activities under the theme of Power of Muze to support human security initiatives led by the United Nations. We hope to raise awareness of human security challenges worldwide, raise funds from the private sector to support human security initiatives, and lastly, encourage the private sector's involvement and mobilization of all possible resources to support the UN's human security initiatives. HSA, we Human Security Association, will also bring music to local communities that are faced with threats and help them regain hope and dignity. The Power of Muze concert tomorrow evening will kick off our mission.
Human security, as a people-centered approach, provides an innovative framework to respond to today's multiple, complex, and highly interrelated challenges of the world, including natural disasters, violent conflicts, food shortages, pandemics, and global economic crisis. In the United Nations, OCHA Human Security Unit has led its efforts to promote human security. The Human Security Trust Fund, the United Nations Trust Fund for Human Security, is a practical instrument to implement human security on the ground through projects that promote multi-sectoral and multi-agency UN operations. So far, we have funded 187 projects worldwide in more than 70 countries since 1999, with generous contributions by the governments of Japan, Thailand, and Slovenia. In our efforts to promote human security, little progress, however, can be achieved without the participation, commitment, and actions of all actors, including governments, civil society actors, and the private sector. In this regard, I would like to thank the Human Security Association for their commitment to support human security initiatives at the United Nations. I am confident that this concert will contribute to raising awareness among the wider public on the importance of human security and to further strengthen partnership in our commitment for our common cause.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, gentlemen. It struck me that the last time I was here, I was covering events as a correspondent for CNN. I'm particularly struck by the significance, the terrible significance of some of the conversations that occurred behind closed doors here, and sometimes in open public. And I'm also struck by, I should say, the degree to which this place is still very much a magnet for good old-fashioned idealists, people who really believe that through vision and focus and work on the ground, they can actually make the world a better place. So I'm humbled by this. I'm humbled to be in the presence of people who have dedication, intelligence, focus, and a common vision about how to really make a difference. This matters to me personally because I am a political refugee. My parents, my entire family was forced to leave Nigeria during that terrible civil war decades ago. This is a small group. Tomo sits here for the organization, but I've met other members. It's a small group of, I think, committed people. And perhaps they draw as their inspiration the hundreds, perhaps thousands of political leaders, of UN staffers, of non-governmental organizations and groups that have walked along the halls here in the United Nations, having, in some small way, changed the world.
In our UN projects, human security projects, almost all projects have educational component. Building schools, providing education, including human rights and gender and everything, providing textbooks, providing a school feed program, and so on and so forth. We haven't done music. And Mr. Nomura came to me and said, Mr. Tase, music can put people together, and music can help people regain themselves in very serious post-conflict situations or disaster-affected areas. Music can do a lot. And I thought that we haven't officially, or even informally, done anything about music in our initiative. So I thought that it was a very good idea to bring in the perspective to use music as a media to put people together.
And the best way that I can relate this is my father tells a story. He at the time was a diplomat during the Civil War in Nigeria. And he talked about going back once to visit some children who had been orphaned. Many of them had been orphaned, about 200 kids, who had been suffering from malnutrition as a result of the war. And they had been airlifted to a little humanitarian center outside of Libreville in Gabon. And he said as he was approaching this place on a dusty road that these children who had been separated from their families, many who seemed like they were on the edge of death, they greeted him at this center and they broke out into song. And they were singing together. For that 5 minutes, he said he felt this rejuvenation, that it made the people around them happy. They felt that they had purpose. And particularly the children who felt empowered, who felt perhaps we can make it through another day, and maybe a day after that, and maybe a week after that. That's not to say that music is the cure. It's one of the many weapons in the arsenal, I think, of helping people on the ground. And again, I come back to this sort of highfalutin notion of changing the world in one small way. I really, truly believe that it does have the power to do that.
Thank you all. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you.